Okay, we're working. And what's up, everybody on Facebook and YouTube? And let's see if we get the Instagram popping this time. Hopefully, wait for it. There we go. I got them working. Yo, what's up, everyone? Happy Friday. Hope everyone's doing well. Just finished up some emails, got some work done, so I figured I had a little time today. I just want to pop in and say what's up to everybody, what's going on, and I don't know, just kind of shoot the shit, see if we had any questions that I can answer for you guys. I've been having some really good discussions, participating in some of the forums, some coaching calls with some students, and I could share some of that information. Also, looking for a little bit of feedback from you guys. I am going to be doing a training coming up. Wow, 14 years old. That's amazing. We should talk about that. But I've got a training coming up, and I would love to get you guys' opinion and your hi. A lot of your questions to incorporate into that. Also, want to get your feedback on what times typically work best for you guys. So, with that said, feel free. We're going live on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and drop those in the. Go ahead and drop those in the comment box without distracting me too much. Yep, let them know. Let them know. And on that note, I guess I'll start off by sharing. Well, let me share actually. Let's go back to a student call from yesterday and give you guys a good exercise that I have all of my students do, particularly when it comes to just getting started, some of those first steps. Uh, Sorry, the comments are disappearing here. If I'm virtually wholesaling, uh, do you need to get a title company in the same state you're working in? You need your title company to be in the same state where the property is that you're closing on. So if you were in New York and you're closing on a property in Florida where you're purchasing it, your title company needs to be in Florida. So again, this exercise, right? When you're first getting started, data is everything. That whole cliche of, an ounce of prevention will save you a pound of cure. That's very, very true here. So that's why I always harp on doing your research properly the very first time, especially when it comes to Brucey. um, Finding cash buyers and what's in a very high demand in your market. So if you're just getting started, I would love for you guys to do this exercise, which is essentially very, very simple, but sometimes the simplest stuff are some of the things that you need to be doing the most. So for this first exercise that I would love for you guys to start with is to connect with other wholesalers in your area. And it's not, it sounds very simplistic, but there are a couple of different reasons. So first off, you want to go to just very, very simple. Go to Google and search for wholesalers or wholesale deals in, West Palm Beach, Florida, in Palm Beach County, Florida, or wherever, whatever market you're in, right? And then from there, you want to start signing up for every single wholesaler um, as if you were a cash buyer. So some other terms you can use, like I said, go to Google, go to Craigslist, look for wholesale deals, go to Facebook, go through the Facebook marketplace, search for wholesale deals. Another thing you can do is go to Craigslist, sites like My House Deals, Bigger Pockets, and look for any types of wholesale deals. For example, if you're on Craigslist and you use quotations and put in the quotation marks cash or hard money only, that's pretty much wholesaler speak, right? So what you're going to do is from there, you're going to follow those breadcrumbs and go to wholesalers' websites. And then from there, you're going to sign up for their buyers list as if you were a buyer, as if you were a cash buyer. It's going to be somewhere on their website where you can sign up for their buyers list. And before you do that, I also want you to go and make a completely new email address that's going to be used only for this purpose, okay? Only to sign up for other wholesalers, deals and websites and stuff, right? Once you do that, you're going to sign up on all these different sites. And essentially, you're going to have an inbox that's going to be coming to you daily with all the other wholesalers' deals. Now, there's like 5 different reasons why this is important. Let me make sure I cover all of them, okay? So the first thing is that this is going to be intel, right? Other wholesalers are putting work into this, sweat equity, money, resources. So especially if you're new or you're working with a limited budget, this is a great way to start off, again, first getting intel, seeing where a lot of these deals are. The other thing with the intel piece is, as you get accustomed to monitoring these emails, you can see very quickly where are most wholesalers targeting properties? How much are these properties going for? And when you're looking at these things day over day or week over week, you'll be able to see, um, this property came into this deal blast on Monday and it was gone on Tuesday, as opposed to one that keeps coming back and back and back. It's going to allow you to assess the demand a little bit better, right? Um, so sorry, I'm seeing you guys' questions, and I'm gonna before I lose my train of thought, I'll get back to all of them in just a second. Um, but that's gonna give you some intel right there. And the next thing it's gonna do is allow you to do joint venture deals. So remember, these guys are putting sweat equity in there, putting resources and financial resources, money, all that stuff. And so when you're out, going about your life or meeting cash buyers or talking to them or meeting them at the daily RIA, remember, you should be talking to these guys and really assessing what it is that they're looking for. And all you're doing is playing matchmaker, man. So if you have a cash buyer, and again, screen them, ask them somewhat obnoxious, very intrusive questions. Hey, where are you buying? What types of properties do you like? What zip codes? How many flips have you done? Are you using cash or hard money? What's your budget? Like all that different stuff. And I got some videos on how to do that. And then all you do is go to this inbox to see if you can find a match. So if you find someone that says, hey man, I'm looking for a single family concrete block house. I don't want to pay more than 150 and I don't know, in Lake Worth, right? Then you just go to your inbox, and remember, we use it for intel, but then you could just scan because someone else has already done all of the work for you. And then if you find a match, you can just say, yeah, I got that for you. Then you hit up the wholesaler, hey, I got a buyer, and that's a very, very easy way to do a deal. The other thing with that is you can also see when you're following all these people, because sometimes wholesalers do daisy chain. A lot of times it's going to be very easy for you to tell who is the actual contract holder on a specific property, right? So that's another way that really helps. Another thing you can do is, you remember, a lot of wholesalers, we have very short inspection periods sometimes. So there are times where, I might only have, let's say, 6-7 days to sell a property, and then the wholesaler, let's just say, cancels it, so they're not risking their earnest money deposit, right? Well, then and let's say they were asking, let's say, $60,000 for a property, so you can kind of take an educated guess that they probably are paying no more than $50,000 for it, which means you can then go back to that original seller. Again, this is once the wholesaler, you're not going around. This is once they're out of contract, they cancel, and that you can probably get it at that price or even a little bit lower. Even then, at that same time, so it's just another source of deals for you. And then that other wholesaler, they may have canceled because they couldn't sell it in time, but their advertisements are still out there, their emails are still out there, and so a lot of times they might have someone hit them up, let's say day 8, 9, and then you have the contract, and then that's another way to do deals and to source deals. Let's see other things. If you get properties under contract, you should be comfortable and start reaching out to wholesalers, because remember, especially if you're new to this game, right? There are wholesalers who have been in this business for years, sometimes decades. They have cash buyers lists of thousands and thousands, if not tens of thousands of people. So once you start communicating with them, and I wouldn't expect them to necessarily, jump to work with you immediately if you don't have any type of reputation or something of that nature. But once you just start emailing people, hey, I have this under direct contract. If you could send it to your buyers, I'll joint venture with you. We can split the profits. And I recommend being very, very transparent, especially when you're working with other wholesalers. That's another great way. I mean, you're essentially can take advantage of someone's 10 years worth of work and get access to things that, remember, they worked very hard for, put in sweat equity, built rapport, put in a lot of money in terms of mailers or advertising, marketing, what have you. And they put in that level of effort to get those deals. So that's another way that's just going to be very, very helpful, and why you should have that exclusive inbox that you can just basically work out of, right? So hopefully that's helps you guys out a little bit, and that's a really good exercise that I recommend for all of my students, especially when they get started. So let me go check a couple of these questions that we got going on here. But I have a question for you guys. As some of you know, I've been doing some live trainings recently, so I've been doing them every 2, maybe every 3 weeks or so. Typically I do them in the evening, so I've been doing them like Wednesday or Thursday evenings at about 6 p.m. And the reason I do that is because I plan for about an hour or two, but I like the live stuff and taking your questions live. I find it's more interactive. It allows me to be very much unfiltered, and I think it gets a lot of you guys to focus and take action. And I get to, again, not hold anything back. And so typically what we've been doing for the last like 2 months or so, I've been planning these things to go for like an hour or two, and almost uh, without exception, they go for about 4 or 5 hours. So that's why I kind of felt like 6 would be a good time to do this. But some people were telling me a lot of people are the daytime works better for them. So if you guys, whether you're here now or you catch this on a replay, um, please do just comment whatever, if it's YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, whatever, it doesn't matter. Just comment what times you guys prefer, because I'm pretty flexible, so I can do it whenever it works for the most amount of people. So let me know. And then again, if you have questions with that, I do have kind of a cord that I'm teaching, but I have flexibility in there as well, and I'd love to incorporate your questions, especially if they're like a lot of common sticking points. All right. So is it being recorded? I guess. I think so. Or I think, yeah, it'll be recorded. It'll be available in the Facebook group. If you guys are not in the Facebook group, make sure you get in there so you can ask questions and take advantage, man. Do I do cold calling? Yes, I really am a big fan of cold calling. Not just, I think not only is it a good source of deals, but it's something that, I don't know, it's always like sharpening your skills. When you can make yourself do things that are not necessarily comfortable to the average person and get better at communicating with people, I think it's always a strength. At the same time, I do them. The main source of deals that come from cold calling come from my VAs. So I have VAs who do cold calling for me, but I always want to still be in there, right? So I don't get rusty. Let's see what other comments we got. Yo, Stormy, what's going on, man? Long time. Good to see you, bro. We gotta catch up. Do I have an Instagram? Yes, it's Mike Hill, like my name. It's pretty easy. And then TWT. So Mike Hill TWT on Instagram. And yeah, if you're interested in mentorship, I'm looking forward to doing that. Something that brings me a lot of joy. I really love teaching this stuff. If you want information, there's actually information on. If you're on Instagram, it's in my bio. YouTube, it's in the description. It's wholesale@mike.info. Give you all the information you need, and if you ever want to book a one-on-one call, I have like a couple slots a week where I do those. They do fill up very, very quickly, but if you want that, yeah, I'm grab a spot. Just I would encourage you to do it expeditiously. Now, also, if you guys have recommendations for any future video topics, I was just in another Facebook group, and somebody asked, they were saying, yes, they get stumped when sellers ask them the question, you make me the offer first. And I wrote a little response, but I think that's something I'd like to expand on a little bit, so you can expect that video coming. Some of these things I'm very passionate about, because I've learned this stuff kind of the hard way and gotten yelled at and cursed out and stuff like that and lost deals. So I do have some rants for that I'd like to expand on a bit. So I will, you can look out for that video. But if you guys have questions, make sure you leave them. I'm gonna go back and check the replays of these videos to make sure that there's a to see your comments, and then I can make videos off all this stuff. And then also, if you haven't seen it yet, I encourage you for your own benefit to go to my YouTube channel and watch the last video that I posted. It is called I forgot what it's called, Homeless to Millions. And basically this is an interview with the king of Miami real estate. So it's this guy named Jalal, young guy, he's in his 20s, got to the country less than 10 years ago, didn't have any, didn't even speak the language, had nothing, no family, anything, taught himself English, was homeless for a number of years and kind of at multiple times, and is sleeping out of his car. And the interview is also really entertaining. It's really funny, but it's very much informative. It's very, very much inspiring. When you listen to some of the things that he has done and that he did, he basically lays out this blueprint where if you copy, and there's a lot of work ethic and a lot of hustle, so there's no bullshit, but if you copy exactly what he did, there's just no way, shape, or form, let's decline that call for now, that you could not make this work. And it's not only applicable to wholesaling, because he has done wholesale deals and started off that way, but this is also very much applicable to any type of real estate investing. He's now a landlord, he's a millionaire, he's working on a lot of different deals, commercial deals, all kinds of different stuff, but it's also it really is applicable to any type of business. And with that, he also gives you metrics. And the reason I think metrics is so important is just like, it's the reason why no matter how tired people are in a marathon in general, when they can see the finish line, they tend to speed up. Imagine if you were swimming in open water, right? And you could, the people were just telling you, you're almost there, but you couldn't see the land. You would give up a lot faster than if you were able to see the land. And to that same extent, this is why I talk about metrics so much. And when I talk to students in my program, I have different metrics that basically say, okay, if you make X amount of offers, X amount of calls, spend X amount of dollars, you will make a deal. And so if you're just calling and you don't know how many calls you need to make, it can get very discouraging. I've had students who spent like, let's say $1,000 on direct mail, and then it didn't work, and then they're ready to quit because they don't know if they're gonna spend another thousand, 2,000, whatever. But when you look at the metrics and the history, you say, wow, if I had just spent $250 more, I could have more or less guaranteed a deal. And so that's why that's very important. So in that interview, he talks to you about metrics and some other good stuff like that. And like I said, there are some other good things in there. So yeah, check that video out. Very inspirational, but also it's got tangible stuff in there. Really, really good interview. I really enjoyed that. It's probably my favorite video that I've made of the years that I've been doing this. So on that note, folks, happy Friday. It's been a pleasure talking to you guys. I guess these replays set for like 24 hours. I'm not sure. The Facebook group one, I think we'll keep it just stays in the timeline. So, yeah, that was just a couple thoughts off the top of my head. Again, please make sure you do me a favor and ask questions in general, questions that you would like to see video topics made for on the YouTube channel. Any struggles, obstacles, that's what I'm here for. And take advantage, man. Like seriously, like the amount of money that I've invested into like mentors and different mentoring programs and just time and like it's I can give you some valuable stuff. That's what I'm trying to say. And also let me know what days work best for you guys to do our free live training call. Days and times would be ideal. Again, usually it's been 6 p.m. I think I'm gonna play around with a 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time trial, and that'll probably be not this coming Thursday, but maybe the Thursday after that, or actually not, I think like 2 weeks from now, maybe like the 15th is the day out. I think I was targeting. All right, so thanks for tuning in. If you're watching on the replay, please leave your comments, and everybody have a happy, safe Friday and enjoy your weekend. Talk to you guys soon. I don't know how to end these things. All right, and